Broadcasting live and around the world. From Cabana One, the only podcast that's all ball bearings. Your ultimate source for everything Fletch.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Laker Jim and his beat reporters will stop at nothing to make sure Fletch lives forever. They don't shower much. This is FletchCast.
Welcome, Fletch fans, to a very monumentous episode of FletchCast. As always, I'm your host, Laker Jim. It's March, at least we're recording this in March, and that can only mean one thing: Fletch Madness. Now, you can hear from the roar of the crowd behind me that we are just minutes away from the greatest movie quote tournament in modern history. As the fans continue to file into the fabled Swarthout Arena, you can hear the tension and you can cut it with a knife, because tonight we crown the greatest Fletch quote of all time. By my side, as always, my Scotch-Romanian color man, Jake. And Jake, for some of these quotes, this is their 37th year in the big dance.
I tell you one thing, I'm really excited to be here. And we've got a lot of history behind us, and the future looks great.
And let me tell you, folks, bracketologists have analyzed the metrics of what we're about to do. And the National Committee of Cinematic Dialogue was brought in to determine the seeding of these Fletch quotes. Jake, let's send it down to Big Bob, who's on the sidelines. He's been fist deep all week in some of today's vocal titans. Bob, what type of insight can you give us that maybe we can look for today?
Laker Jim, I am on the sidelines. I'm actually backstage right now. Laker Jim, the tension in the air, you can cut it with Underhill's American Express card. Over the last week, I've spoken to all the quotes. No one wants to lose and have their wages garnished. No one is showering much. Every quote has 2 bottles of Dom Perignon ready to go in celebration. And as far as you know, it's an elephant book zoo back here. I spoke to Frida's boss. He doesn't know what to expect. And even Ed McMahon is saying, you choose the winner.
You're not the best sideline reporter in the business for nothing. Jake, let me ask you, will weather play a factor in any of today's matchups?
Earlier, we had a lot of problems with that strong north wind. Those manure spreaders on the Santa Ana, boy, they had some real problems. And forget about trying to fly from LA to Provo. With that strong headwind, you're never going to get there on time. But again, things are starting to improve, and I think we'll have smooth sailing for the tournament.
Okay, folks, it's time. Let's get this Fletch Quote tournament underway. Now, let me just tell you how this is going to work. It's going to work very much like the March Madness bracket tournament, only including the greatest Fletch quotes of all time. We have a total of 36 quotes that have semi-qualified for the big dance here. Okay, we have 4 play-in tournaments for quotes that were just on the bubble. So they'll have a play-in game.
Before we get started, the quotes themselves, they're all quotes from the original Fletch movie, No Fletch Lives this time around. And also, if there are some back and forth with other characters to play off of, that is part of it. But they are all quotes directly from the man himself, Irwin M. Fletcher.
Okay, so let's start in the Provo division. That's Conference A. The first matchup that we're going to analyze and determine is
tonight's matchup.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Versus.
Yeah, but I mean the very end. When he actually died, that was extremely sudden.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 1500, go!
What do you guys think of this matchup here?
These are 2 Titans. Now, Moon River did get the 1 seed here. I think that's a given. You know, we look at most quotable lines in the history of Fletch. I think that Moon River stands at the top. Personally, this was a tough decision for me. I do have to go with the heavy favorite and favor Moon River in this case.
Yeah, I agree. No Cinderella story here, especially when we think back to where our Fletch One website began and where all of us kind of came together. Where was that? It was the Moon River message board. So how could we go against that right now?
There you go.
So for me, I agree. Moon River all the way.
I couldn't agree more. This is a blowout. Moon River advances in this tournament.
And how about the fact that both quotes come directly from the offices of Dr. Dolan?
Yes, they do. All right, let's stay in the Provo division as well. And we're going to now analyze
tonight's matchup.
1B, B-A-B-A-R.
That's 2.
Yeah, but not right next to each other. I thought that's what you meant.
Versus.
I don't shower much.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15-footer, go!
Well, again, I love the "I don't shower much" line at the beginning of the movie, but again, I'm going to have to probably go with a quote that happened in Dr. Dolan's office, because we talk about the Babar books again and again and again. So with me, I've got to go with that.
Jake, I know I'm going to have to go against you on this one. I'm going with "I don't shower much." I think it's a quick quote. It's nice, it's clean, and unlike me, I don't shower much.
I knew that's why you went with it. Yeah, obviously you can relate.
Yeah. So Laker Jim, we're gonna have our first tie break here. Laker Jim, you're gonna have to break the tie.
I think I'm gonna go with the Babar quote.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you really analyze it, it's a quote that's memorable. Yes, I agree that "I don't shower much" is a nice little quick, sharp quote, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it crumbles in the fourth quarter against Babar.
My entire bracket is busted now. No, that's fine. I yeah, without a doubt, it's the heavy favorite, and I could see it.
Let's hop over to the South American back conference. That's Conference C.
Whoa.
Tonight's matchup
I rent them. I have a lease with an option to buy.
versus.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Just relax.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15-footer, go!
Oof.
How about you, Laker Jim? You start us
this
off.
one.
Yeah, this is a tough one. These guys are kind of evenly matched, I think. But I think in the end, using the whole fist, Doc, is the one that's more memorable, more used. It's a quote that people want to work into the regular life. So I'm going with using the whole fist, Doc.
I have to agree, especially someone that is looking down the barrel of a colonoscopy here in just a few weeks. I think that I would probably, and that line has come to my mind much more recently, often. And actually, I have it ready to go after said procedure. So I think I will go with the fist line as well. Bob?
The thing about the rubber gloves line is you often use that line not talking about rubber gloves. You'll say things like, "I have a lease with an option to buy," when you're not actually talking about rubber gloves. I'm talking about in real life when you're working that line into your everyday conversation. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Using the whole fist, Doc, that takes the
So using the whole fist advances to the next round, and they will take on the winner of this matchup, which is
Tonight's matchup
What kind of a name is Poon? Comanche Indian.
versus.
I'm with the mattress, please. There are no tags on these mattresses.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15-footer, go!
Jake, what do you got?
I'll start. And although I know Mattress Police is one that we talk about a lot, I tell you, I have to go with Poon, because I use that line all the time. My brother and I will use that term just out of the blue. I will text him and ask him, what kind of name is Poon? So, and the Comanche Indian response is just classic. So all Poon for me.
I have to agree. It's just a powerful quote. This is the big time. I mean, we're here looking for the greatest quote of all time, and Poon is going to make a big push.
Yes, a big Poon push. Well, Bob, I guess it's a moot point now, Bob. But
This is a real personal one to me. When I was a little Bob, not big Bob like I am now. When I was a little Bob, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she used to claim that we had Native American blood. For that reason alone, I have to go with Comanche Indian, just to honor her. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm sure everybody does if you go far back and trace your ancestry back far enough. But I always believed that I did have Native American blood. I could feel it. And I want to believe it's Comanche.
So it's a clean sweep. Okay, let's head down to the Los Angeles division. That's Conference D.
Yeah.
We're going to deal with their number one matchup, which is
Tonight's matchup.
Oh, it's me, Dr. Rosenpenis. I'm just here to check out Danwick's file. Dr. Rosen, and I'm here to get to the records room. It's Dr. Rosen. I want to check the records room. Dr. Rosen.
Versus.
By the way, I charged the entire vacation of Mr. Underhill's American Express card. Want the number?
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3,
Oh.
15-footer, go!
Bob, you can start.
this is tough.
This is
But
tough.
this I don't know what you guys. I don't know how you guys think this is tough. This is a Dr. Rosen all the way for me. I mean, I use that line once a month. I can't think of the last time I used the other one. So yeah, Dr. Rosen.
Let me go against you on that. I'm going to have to go ahead and kind of disagree with you on that because I believe that the Underhill line is one, the last line of the movie. I think it gets one more big laugh as the movie wraps up. And again, it does make reference to the Underhills, which is someone that we continue to talk about over and over and over again. Although I do love Dr. Rosen, Dr. Rosen penis. That's a great scene. I have to go with the Underhill line. So Bob, sorry about that.
Well, I don't have the unenviable task of having to make this decision. So Laker Jim, it's on you.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. So hey, listen, you guys make great points. This really is a tough one for me. But I feel like if I'm judging based on iconicness, I'm going to have to lean towards the Dr. Rosen quote.
Oh my God.
I think Dr. Rosen advances.
They pay him the big bucks because he's the best lettuce washer in the business, and I am glad you're on my side.
Gracious, pull the knife out of my back. I cannot believe you went against me on that.
Oh, sorry, Jake.
These things happen.
This is tough.
Fletch Quote Madness is a tough man's game.
Goodness gracious.
It's insanity from start to finish. So now Dr. Rosen is going to advance, and they're going to take on
Tonight's matchup.
Strangers in the night, exchanging clothing. Strangers in my pants, fingers rolling.
Versus.
I don't know. I don't have any.
No children?
No elephant books.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 15-footer, go!
So this is a tough one for me because right now I have a pretty bad, not even a cold, but allergies, and my voice is a little off. But this gives me the perfect bass in my voice to sing Strangers in the Night. And I've been singing it for a week now. But the fact of the matter is, I have to go with No Children, No Elephant Books here. What about you, Laker Jim?
Right. Now I'm gonna vote based on personal opinion. And I'm gonna say the Strangers in the Night little hum ditty is something I sing very, very often. So I am going to put my vote towards Strangers in the Night. Jake, it's up to you to break this tie.
Well, I have to tell you, as much as I like the little ditty, I have to go with No Children, No Elephant Books.
Woo!
Because that's something that I quote on our social media. It's something that I think a lot of people talk about because that scene is iconic. But we talk about, and I've said before, No Children, No Elephant Books. So for me, that's the winner.
Do you work it into your professional life?
Not on television, but I mean, I've used it in certain social situations. Absolutely.
Maybe that's a 2022 goal for you. Where are we going next, Liquor Jim?
So now let's head over to the beach conference. That's conference B for you guys scoring at home.
Tonight's matchup.
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
Versus.
You know, they ought to recall these things. You hit one good bump out here and boom, whole rear window explodes.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 15-footer, go!
Boom.
All right. I don't think this is going to take much.
I agree.
Nah,
this is easy.
I think it's going to be
This
unanimous.
is easy.
This is a blowout.
It's
all ball
bearings.
bearings by a mile.
Much like the window, this is a blowout. It's all ball bearings.
Yeah.
Again, it's the 1 seed versus the the underdog again. No doubt about it.
Okay, now we have a play-in game. We have our first play-in game, everybody.
Okay.
So now we're talking about these were bubble quotes that almost made it, and now we can vote them into the bracket.
One will live in infamy.
Play-in quote C.
Tonight's matchup.
Well, there we're in a kind of a gray area. All right, how gray? Charcoal.
Versus.
Could you love someone who looked like that?
What are you talking about? Of course not. 5, 10 minutes tops, maybe.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 15-footer, go!
For me, it's 5-10 minutes tops. I've used that line several times when talking about the opposite sex as a joke.
This is something I'm passionate about. There we're in kind of a gray area is a quote that I think is very iconic, something I use a lot.
Okay.
Try to work it in. So I'm going to go with there we're in kind of a gray area.
Okay, Bob.
I don't think I can last 5-10 minutes. So I'm going to say just because Laker Jim and I used to alley-oop him a lot in this one. I would say, how gray, Laker Jim? And I would always light up when he would turn to me and say, charcoal. This is when we were younger. So I have to, for nostalgia purposes, I got to go with charcoal.
All right.
So charcoal is now in the tournament. Charcoal is immediately taking on
Tonight's matchup.
Can I borrow your towel for a sec? My car just hit a water buffalo. Nice place you have here.
Versus.
Well, there we're in a kind of a gray area. All right, how gray? charcoal.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15.
No rest for the weary.
Let me just jump in here and listen. Let me just say, like, hats off to Charcoal. You really fought hard to get into the tournament. But when you pit them up against the true contenders for this title, which the Water Buffalo line is, and we see Fletch often go to towel humor in Fletch and Fletch Lives a lot. So when you count the scene, iconicness, quotability, being memorable, I don't think there's any chance Coach Charcoal has in this matchup. Although I love the line, it's Water Buffalo by a blowout.
Easily.
Yeah. There you go.
I definitely agree.
Okay, now let's take it back to the Provo Conference. That's Conference A. And we have another play-in quote.
Oof, 2 in a row, back to back.
Ooh.
The play-in quote, the play-in matchup is...
Tonight's matchup
I can't have my wages garnished.
versus.
You don't mean communist, do you, Sam?
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15.
Go ahead, LJ. You start on this one.
I can't have my wages garnished is a quote I love. I love the way he says garnished. That's an easy one for me.
Yeah, and I've used that line many times. Definitely garnish sheet all the way.
I don't know why I thought this was going to be more of a debate. Yeah, it's definitely garnished.
Yeah.
Okay, Garnishy is into the tournament, and they immediately turn around and take on...
Tonight's matchup
I can't have my wages garnished.
versus.
Yeah, do you have the Beatles' White Album? Never mind, just get me a glass of hot fat. And bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia while you're out there.
Here's the
4
tip.
seconds, 3, 15.
Now, for me, that quote, the quote, the line, the quote inside the quote there is, "Bring me a cup of hot fat."
Mhm.
Yes, that's a great line.
But I'm sticking with Garnishy. I don't know about you two, but I'm following my heart, sticking with Garnishy. Maybe a Cinderella story for Garnishy.
All right.
What about you?
Let me do this. I'm going the opposite. I love that entire line. I love that entire scene. I have asked people if they've had the Beatles' White Album. I've asked for a cup of hot fat. I've used the Alfredo Garcia line, which has totally gone over anybody's head, unless those that are Fletch fans like ourselves. So for me, it's that line or lines. So LJ, you're the tiebreaker on that one.
This is a really tough one for me because personally, I love the Garnishy line. It's a quote that I use and I feel like people love. But Jake, you kind of sold me on the Beatles' White Album thing. Yeah. Oh God, which way am I going here?
Kind of sold me too.
I think Jake, I think you convinced us. I think Beatles' White Album advanced.
Nice.
So playing quote, I can't have my wages garnished. Got themselves right out on their ass on the way out. one great playing game, but as we normally see in this world, the playing teams don't make it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, their playing time was garnished.
Okay, let's see who the couple half fat is going to take on in the next round. Oh, this one's a great matchup.
Tonight's matchup
Sugar, Mr. Poon?
No, never. Thank you.
versus.
I'm Frida's boss.
Who's Frida?
My secretary.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15.
I might need
This is a tough one.
a second on this one.
Yeah, I'll go first. This is about as equally matched as we've seen so far in this tournament. I have got to go Sugar Mr. Poon because No Never Never is something that I have quoted probably ad nauseum at this point in my life.
Jake, what do you think?
I 100% agree. No, never, never within that is something that I've used. So I'm sorry. So LJ, if you was thinking the other way.
No, I'm not. No, never,
Okay.
never. I already had it written down.
I mean, listen, that's a shame that my secretary, Frida's boss, ran into such a buzzsaw there.
But come on. No, never, never.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
And No Never Never comes back in a different part of the movie when she says, "You're not recording this."
Right,
She says,
right,
"No, never,
exactly.
never." Okay, let's head over to the South American back conference. That's Conference C.
Okay.
I love that conference. South
That's my
America
favorite
is
too.
back.
Okay, this matchup.
Tonight's matchup
Have you ever seen a spleen that large? No, not since breakfast.
versus.
I love your body, Larry.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15.
That's easy. I love your body, Larry.
Yeah,
I must have said that 1,000 times.
I agree. That one's going to be a strong contender today.
Bob?
I think that I love your body, Larry, for a third seed might be the seed that upsets the one. So yeah, I love your body, Larry. Is a no-brainer.
Let's stay in the same conference to see who is going to take on I Love Your Body, Larry.
Body over brains. Go on.
Exactly. Another heavy hitter here.
Tonight's matchup.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Versus.
Curiously, she said we had roughly the same build. From the waist up, I imagine.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 1500.
Doesn't get much more iconic than the Bloody Mary and steak sandwich line. So I'm going to throw my vote towards the steak sandwich. It's a quote that a semi-Fletch fan knows. That's one of the lines that, you know, a non-hardcore Fletch fan knows.
Jake, do you want to be the deciding factor?
I can, if you'd like.
All right. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go from the waist up.
Well, I'm sorry, Bob, but I have to go with a Bloody Mary, a steak sandwich.
Naturally, of course.
I think when someone hears that,
I just wanted to create a little drama.
I think when someone hears that, anybody who's even heard that maybe a few times immediately thinks of Fletch.
It's definitely, it's all barbarians and it's all steak sandwiches.
Yeah.
Let's head over to Los Angeles Conference where we have a playing quote B. Okay. Let's see this matchup to see who's going to enter the tournament right here.
Tonight's matchup.
You'll come! As you know.
Versus.
Come on, Frank, say yes. I'll buy you some new deodorant.
Here's the
4
tip.
seconds, 3, 1500.
I'm gonna go first. Forget about the RU Cup. As far as you know, oh my God. Again, it's something I say constantly, but I do love the deodorant quote too. I have to go with as far as you know, but that's a tough playing game. Maybe the toughest so far.
As far as you know is a Chevy Chase personal quote. Does it a lot. You hear it a lot in movies. You hear it a lot in interviews.
Yeah, probably ad-libbed into the movie by him.
But as far as Fletch movie quotes go, I'm going to say, come on, I'm going to buy some new deodorant.
Okay. Jakey.
And I'm with you. With you. Deodorant for sure. I mean, think about it. Think about our Christmas episode. Some of the images we've shared.
Yep.
We've had pictures of deodorant. I mean, we think about that all the time. So definitely.
Deodorant has made the dance, and it takes on
Tonight's matchup.
Oh, for God, Don. Who is it, Mr. Sinlinden?
Versus.
Come on, Frank, say yes. I'll buy you some new deodorant.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 1500.
It's a great
this is tough, but I think
Laker Jim, you go first.
Oh God. Okay. I think I'm going to go Mr. Sinlinden. I think that's a little more iconic, pitted up against new deodorant.
Okay, I'll let Bob be the tiebreaker on this one because I'm sticking with deodorant because I really just love that line because it's kind of a throwaway line, but it's classic.
And it's just funny to think about that might be,
it's so random too.
It's a deciding factor whether Frank agrees with Fletch or not. That's the bribe.
I know, and it's like of all things, deodorant. So I'm going with deodorant. So Bob, it's up to you this time.
You guys really screwed me here. Here's the thing. Just simply because of how often I use the line. Fuck me. I have to go with. And it's not anything to do with Sinlinden or who is it? It's the for God, Don.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
I have to keep that one in the tournament because it wouldn't be fair if I didn't include that. Sorry for the playing in and out, but yeah, I say for God, Don every day of my life.
The deodorant now is gone.
And Chevy's face when he says it, it's that gosh, it's that
the deodorant is gone, Jake. But honestly, we could always buy you some.
That's true. That is a great line too, because I do say for gosh darn. I mean, I've said it a million times too, but I mean, like the deodorant line's classic.
Okay, so now for gosh darn is going to take on the winner of the next matchup.
Okay.
Tonight's matchup.
John Cocktoast.
It's a beautiful name.
Well, it's Scotch-Romanian.
It's an odd combination.
Yeah, well, so are my parents.
Versus.
Don't talk to me like that, ass face. I don't work for you yet.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 1500.
Well, I'll start with this one, and this is easy. It's John Cocktoast all the way.
Wow, you think that's easy?
Oh my gosh, come on.
I'm going to put this on Laker Jim to make the decision, because unless somebody's name is John, there's not a lot of situations in this world where I say John Cocktoastin. That's not part of my regular rap here. So, but I love the way Fletch just has no fear of Stanwyck when he drops, "Don't talk to me like that, ass face. I don't work for you yet." Just like he just, fuck you, and I'll throw it right back at you, rich asshole. I'll throw it right back at you. Just the way it's such a personality builder, character builder for Fletch, the way he kind of fires right back at him. So I'm going to go with ass face.
I mean, I agree with that. But again, as far as classic, iconic lines from the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, John Cocktoastin.
John Cocktoastin is right there with BABAR. I agree with you, but I love the delivery of "Don't talk to me like that, ass face," because I've said that to like my boss.
Well, I mean, I've said it to you, so I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys make great points. You really do make a case for both lines, but I think I'm going to side with Jake.
Yes.
I think John Cocktoastin is the
You'll
more
regret
iconic,
it. You'll regret it.
the iconic quote here, and we'll advance and take on Gosh Darn Don later on.
You guys are going to regret it.
Let's fly over to the beach conference. That's Conference B.
I'm going to roller skate over
and analyze the matchup.
Tonight's matchup
I like men. I like to be manhandled. I like you.
versus
Well, traffic with murder. One of those manure spreaders jackknifed on the Santa Ana. God-awful mess. You should see my shoes.
here's the tip.
4 seconds, 15 footer, go!
This is easy. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
very.
even. I mean, it's manure
Yeah.
spreader all the way.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I agree. This is a blowout. This is a
Hey, not all of them have got to be hard.
Well, you're right, because I know it's only going to get more difficult.
Okay, so now Manure Spitter is going to take a break a little bit because they're going to sit back and watch a play-in game to see who's going to take on, I assure you, in the next round. So let's look at play-in quote D, which is
Tonight's matchup
Sammy, you're not going to sing for us, are you?
versus
Yeah, Irwin M. Fletcher, you choose. Woo-wee. Oh, boy, I lost again. Sorry.
here's the tip.
4 seconds, 15 footer, go!
Jesus.
Oh my
This
god,
is tough.
this is so tough.
Yeah, it was not easy. I don't want to be first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Brave man.
I think I'm gonna go with "You're Not Gonna Sing for Us, Are You, Sammy?"
okay.
I love that scene. I mean, I love all the scenes, but the confidence he has there is just fantastic.
I'm going to throw in a dark horse here. I'm going to go with, because I just love the delivery and the cadence of the line is something I do in real life. The Irwin M touch uses "woo wee, oh boy, I lost again." Sorry. I have done that. And I love that line. I love that part.
You dirty dog.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were friends. I mean, like, I'm learning more and more about you guys, and I don't like what I'm hearing.
Don't worry, Jake. Don't worry, because I've had some time to think, because real life events just occurred, and you're not gonna see your pick go to waste. I am also going with "You're Not Gonna Sing for Us, Are You, Sammy?" I mean, listen, I couldn't agree with you more, Laker Jim. The Irwin M. Fletcher you choose. Ooh, we got lost again. Sorry. I love the cadence. I love the delivery, but I quote, me personally, a big thing for me in this whole thing is how often do I actually quote the quote? And "You're Not Going to Sing for Us, Are You, Sammy?" I quote all the time. So
All right. You guys are probably right.
I think that's the first time you got shot down.
Okay. Well, listen, "You're Not Going to Sing for Us, Sammy" has no rest because it is immediately taking on
tonight's matchup
It's nothing of a sexual nature, I assure you.
Yeah, I assure you.
versus
Sammy, you're not going to sing for us, are you?
here's the
4
tip.
seconds, 15 footer, go!
I'll start her off here. I have to go with "I assure you," because again, quote her all the time.
I'm going to go with "You're Not Going to Sing for Us, Sammy." I mean, it's an iconic scene, something we sort of start the podcast with. A thank you to Sammy for the intro.
It's very true. I'm sticking with Sammy too. I'm still in the Sammy camp, so I think I'm going to go with Sammy as well. I love that line. You know what else is great about that scene is Sammy's reaction too, when he kind of looks back and kind of smiles at him.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with Sammy just because of his reaction as well.
And I love that actor. I love that actor so much in the movie Clue. The
Yeah.
cop.
It was just his birthday this week, too.
Yeah.
We missed it. He's dead. All right, guys, we are ready to go to the second round. Let's head over to the Provo Conference and oh my God, we have a sick matchup.
We are in the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16 is right.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Versus.
1B. B-A-B-A-R.
That's 2.
Yeah, but not right next to each other. I thought that's what you meant.
Here's the
4
tip.
seconds, 3, 15 footer, go!
Moon River.
You going Moon River?
Thank you, Doc. I think I'm going Moon River.
I have to go Moon River as well.
I have to go Moon River too.
Yeah, it's the heavy favorite.
Is it a 1 seed?
1 seed advances, yeah.
Like Jake mentioned before too, the message board may be a reason that sways us all three.
Yeah.
A little bit. But the quote itself, I mean, come on. Guy took a doctor's fist up his ass for that quote.
Okay, we're sticking in the Provo Conference for round 2.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup.
Yeah, do you have the Beatles' White Album? Never mind, just get me a glass of hot fat. And bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia while you're out there.
Versus.
Sugar, Mr. Poon?
No, never, thank you.
Here's the tip.
Oh my God.
Man, you really love that Beatles White Album quote. I'm going No Never Never.
Yeah.
If you remember, that's actually what Jake had on his Christmas list. Remember, we bought him the album.
Yeah.
Tough decision for you, but I got
Okay.
No Never
Okay. Just because I'm going to give the tiebreaker to LJ, I'm going with the Beatles White Album line. Okay. So I'm throwing it to you.
And I'm going to have to say No Never Never advances.
Yeah, it's just such a clean quote.
Yeah, I know.
Well, sometimes we got to see our favorites go out early, and I know it's tough for you, but No Never Never is a tough one to beat, and it put up a hell of a fight.
Don't ever ask me for a cup of hot fat again. Ever. Yeah, you know what I'll say? No, never, never. That's what I'll say.
Well, listen, the decision-making is not getting any easier. We're heading back to the South American Back Conference.
We're burning so much fuel.
Where we look at the matchup.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Versus.
What kind of a name is Poon?
Comanche Indian.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15 footer, go!
Well, I'm going to go Poon. Just because, like I said, I use it so much. I asked randomly that question to people, so I'm sticking with Poon. I love Poon.
One of the
you dirty dog.
One of the portions of using the whole fist, Doc, which I love, is the it's that reaction. So that's really, when you have that sort of reaction, is where you can deliver the using the whole fist, Doc line. I'm going to go with using the whole fist, Doc.
Oh boy, what are you going to do, Bob?
Well,
why don't you tread carefully?
This is a tough decision. It's a fist. Do I care more about a fist or Poon? Now, Mom, I want you to turn off the podcast because I've always been a Poon man. So I'm going to go Poon.
Well, yes.
Oh, damn it. Probably made the right choice.
Not an easy choice, but
no, not at all. It's hard.
Okay, let's shoot over to the Los Angeles Conference, Conference D.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup.
Oh, it's me, Dr. Rosenpenis. I'm just here to check out Stanwick's file. Dr. Rosen, and I'm here to get to the records room. It's Dr. Rosen.
Versus.
I don't know. I don't have any.
No children?
No elephant books.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15 footer,
I'll set it up. I'm going to go with no elephant books.
Oh,
wow! Because you were a big Rosen fan.
Yeah. That's how psychotic I could be. I could just, swing one way or the other.
I mean, listen, when you're filling out your bracket, you've got to take chances. Going with the favorites never gets you to the end.
Sometimes you got to upset the people.
But here, the favorite is just too strong. I'm going with Dr. Rosen.
I will go with Dr. Rosen this time as well. Yeah. So.
Sometimes you run into a tough contender. I'm not sad to see it go, but yeah, Dr. Rosen, tough to beat.
Okay, let's now see the opposite matchup in the same conference, which is
Round 2. Tonight's matchup.
Oh, for God, Don. Who is it, Mr. Sinlinden?
Versus.
John Cocktoastone.
It's a beautiful name.
Well, it's Scotch Romanian.
It's an odd combination.
Yeah, well, so are my parents.
Here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15 footer.
I'm going to go with John Cocktoson.
Okay.
Because I know you got, I'm going to be the dark horse here because I have a feeling I'm not going to win this one, but I'm going with John Cocktoson.
What's the other one? I'm sorry.
Oh, for gosh, Don.
Okay. Just because John Cocktoson beat my ass face quote, I'm going with Don. Because honestly, again, not because of that. I have no problem with John Cocktoson. I use that quote more. Oh, for God, Don, Mr. Sinelinden. I use it more in life. So I'm going to go with Oh, for gosh, Don. And Laker Jim, it's on you.
I agree. I use Oh, for gosh, Don more in regular life. But hang on. I'm going with the iconic John Cocktoson.
Oh, how about that? Yes.
You swerved me, you rotten. Okay. Cocktoasting.
You know what I love? I love Chevy's eyes before he says it. Like she's surprised.
Yeah. Like the way he widens them
shit,
and then kind of like, yeah.
But he nailed it, right?
He did.
Absolutely.
He did. That confidence. It's all about the confidence.
Let's head back to the Conference C, South American back division. We have a matchup getting ready to start.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup
I love your body, Larry.
versus
Very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15 footer.
Oof, man, we're all going to have a tough time with this one.
I did not want to see these two meet this early in the bracket.
I'd like to go secret ballot on this one for all three of us. And this way we don't know who picked what, but we can't do that. Do you guys mind if I go first?
No, go ahead.
All right. I know I've been going first a lot. I have to go with I Love Your Body, Larry. And listen, that's not an easy decision because, geez, man, I use the steak sandwich every time I order food. But yeah, I got to go with I Love Your Body, Larry.
Being a hardcore Fletch fan is sometimes you disregard the classic lines because they're the common corny ones that everybody knows. And you tend to focus more on the obscure, really smart, witty ones that Fletch uses.
That's a good point.
But in this one,
but
I'm going to have to go with Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich. It's just too iconic for me to pass up. Jake
got a tough decision.
Actually, it's not tough at all. It's Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich all the way. I mean, like, it's not even
I'm getting railroaded here.
I didn't even think twice about it.
I want the fans at home listening to this to weigh in on that one.
Wow, that sets up a really nice matchup for round 3, but we won't announce that one yet because we're going to head over to the Beach Conference, Conference B, where we have an exciting matchup.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
versus
Can I borrow your towel for a sec? My car just hit a water buffalo.
here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15
Oh, I think this is an easy one. Ball bearings probably is going to be in the finals or pretty close to it. So for me, that's easy call, ball bearings. Bob?
Yeah, it's all ball bearings.
Yeah,
I could see that being a championship contender.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we are the podcast that's all ball bearings. So
That's exactly right. Right.
Advanced. Okay, so ball bearings is going to take a little break, and they're going to watch the next game, which is going to be who they're going to match up against.
Round 2. Tonight's matchup
Sammy, you're not going to sing for us, are you?
versus
Traffic with murder. One of those manure spreaders jackknifed on the Santa Ana. God-awful mess. You should see my shoes.
here's the tip.
4 seconds, 3, 15
Who wants to do it? Go first. I'm not going first on this one.
I'm not going near it. Laker Jim, it's on you to go first.
What wins it for me here is the "You should see my shoes" line, which is just so perfectly placed because you're saying it as if they can't look at your shoes. And they're like, wait, what? I mean, that ending line advances them for me. I'm going to throw my vote to Manure Truck.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Listen, we haven't had a lot of luck with the playing quotes. My heart is with the manure spreader, but Sammy has worked so hard to get where he is. I'm going to go with Sammy and put it on Jake.
Well,
You should see Jake's face. Never mind his shoes.
I love, man, they're so great scenes, but I'm going to have to go with Manure Spreader.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because of that scene, that whole scene is, both of them are so good, but I love that. Whew. And and then I love the Burton Gilliam reaction to "You should see my shoes." He's like, ugh. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Manure Spreader on the Santa Ana.
Sammy has sung his last song in this tournament.
That's all right. He made it a lot farther than probably he thought.
Thank you, Sammy.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Thank you. I couldn't wait.
Elite Eight, the last stop on the road to the
Fletch.
Final Four.
Boys, we have reached the Elite Eight. The top 8 quotes that are remaining are: out of Provo, we've got Moon River and No Never Never. Out of Los Angeles, we have Dr. Rosen and John Cocktoasting. Out of the South American back division, we have What Kind of a Name is Poon, Comanche Indian, and Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. Out of the beach division, we have It's All Ball Bearings, and the manure spitter that jackknifed on the Santa Ana. Bob, you said it before, there's no rest for the weary. Let's see what these quotes have left and who can make it to the Final Four. Let's go back to the Provo Conference, where we started, where there's a matchup of
Round 3.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc.
Versus,
Sugar, Mr. Poon?
No, never. Thank you.
here's the tip.
Fight.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What have we done?
This is brutal.
Oh man. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because I don't even know where I'm going here.
I have got to upset everyone and go No Never Never. I love Moon River. It's the 1 seed for a reason. But again, talk about how much you say the line in your personal life. I can't go a month without saying No Never Never. And No Never Never.
I think if you picture Fletch in your head, if you just say, think of a scene from Fletch.
Mm-hmm.
I think the scene of Fletch bent over the proctology table is what comes into your mind probably 9 times out of 10.
Jake, before you settle this, I want you to remember what you told us earlier. You have a month ahead of you where you might be saying Moon River. Go ahead and tell us what you feel.
I have to go with LJ. I have to go Moon River. Because you're right. That and I think the airport scene are probably the 2 most famous scenes in the movie. And him bent over, like the screen caption with him saying moon.
Yeah.
I just think everybody remembers that. So I'm going Moon River.
That wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
That was hard. And I'm not making. I'm going first next time because I don't want to be the decision maker on the next one.
Yeah, you're right. You've earned that one. Okay, so it's not going to get much easier for us because we're heading to the South American back conference.
Round 3.
What kind of a name is Poon?
Comanche Indian.
Versus,
Yes, very good. I'll have Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
here's the tip.
Fight.
All right. Say it again.
It's What Kind of Name is Poon, Comanche Indian, versus Bloody Mary, steak sandwich, and a steak sandwich.
I ain't going first.
I'll go first. Boy, this is so tough. It's getting really difficult.
It really is.
I think I'm perspiring.
You look
yeah,
good.
I'm a little verklempt. Boy, just because I love it so much, and I'm probably going against the favorite, I'm going to go Comanche Indian.
Okay.
I know it's probably not as iconic as Bloody Mary, steak sandwich, and a steak sandwich, but again, that line I use so often. I'm going to go there.
Hey, listen, you got to shoot your shot.
Jim, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich. I think yes, usability is a very important thing to me, but iconicness.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What seems to pull it through on my end. So I'm going Bloody Mary, steak sandwich, and a steak sandwich.
I'm glad I don't have to make this. I can't. I'm so happy.
This is going to make me look like a crazy person because so far I've been all Comanche Indian, and I didn't even vote for steak sandwich last round. But when you put the 2 quotes right next to each other, 2 B's, I have to actually go with steak sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going Poon.
Yeah, I thought I was too. And again, so far I bet on Poon, and I did not bet on steak sandwich last round. But
apparently, you don't like Poon that much. See ya.
again, when my stomach is more than my
Gotcha.
my other appetite.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, Poon is gone.
Poon came into the matchup and whack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a good steak sandwich, and the second one really hits the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at the Los Angeles Conference, Conference D. We analyze a matchup of aliases.
Round 3.
John Cocktoast.
Versus,
Oh, it's me, Dr. Rosenpenis.
here's the tip.
Fight.
Silence.
I think for me this is easy. Actually,
For me, this is easy too.
for as deep into the tournament as we are, this one is easier than it should be.
Yeah, because you guys are going Rosen, right?
It's Dr. Rosen.
I'm going Cocktoasting.
Oh my God, he's going cocktoasting.
So now it's back up to Bob again.
Holy crap!
I'm sorry, but I love how he delivers it.
I actually looked over at Jake's paper and I thought I saw Rosen written down, but it was cocktoasting. Damn it.
Okay, Bob.
There's a quote that's left off of this quote madness, and it's "Where the hell's the records room?" But it's
that's a great line too. Yeah,
it's left off because everybody knows, when you're rosing it up, you're looking for the records room. So I'm going to go Rosen. Cocktoasting's been a thorn on my side this whole tournament. Rosen it is. Sorry, John.
All right, Dr. Rosen has advanced to the Final Four.
I cannot believe that line is in the Final Four. I'm shocked.
Crazy things happen around here.
Okay, now we have an exciting matchup in the Beach Conference.
Round 3.
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
Versus,
One of those manure spreaders jackknifed on the Santa Ana. God awful mess. You should see my shoes.
here's the tip.
Fight.
The manure spitter, who has sort of been a little bit of a dark horse, has really battled its way into the Final 8. Let's see if it can make it into the Final Four.
And these quotes are going to fight it out in the airplane hangar.
That's right.
Bob.
Shit, me?
Yep, you're first.
Oh, man. I think I have to go with the ball bearings. Hey!
Jake, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm ball bearings all the way.
Yeah, for me too. It's
that's all. It's easy.
all right, guys. We have our Final Four. Here's the Final Four: Moon River, Dr. Rosen, Bloody Mary, steak sandwich, and a steak sandwich, and it's all ball bearings.
The right to go to the Final Four.
Round 4.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Versus,
Oh, it's me, Dr. Rosenpenis. I'm just here to check out Stanwick's file. Dr. Rosen, I'm here to get to the records room. It's Dr. Rosen.
here's the tip.
Fight.
Well, I'll start because this is easy for me because I haven't been a Rosen fan since the beginning. So I'm going Moon River.
Lick your Jim, it's on you. I'm going Rosen.
I knew it. I knew you would go Rosen. That's why I went first.
Choose. I'm not going to be the one that has to choose this.
We have our first team in the final championship round, and that is Moon River. Moon River.
I knew it.
Oh boy, I lost again.
River. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just the more iconic. I mean, listen, they're both iconic parts. They're both iconic scenes. Chevy and the Scrubs.
How about on the count of three, we do a three of us all together, Moon River?
All right.
How do you guys feel about that? Okay.
I'm ready. I'm done. Do it.
1, 2, 3.
Moon River. Hey, Doc.
Breathe easy.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. The other two teams left, which are
Round 4.
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
Versus,
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
here's the tip.
Fight.
And what are the two conferences that these two are playing out of?
Oh yeah, good question.
well, Bloody Mary is coming out of the South America and Back Conference.
Mm-hmm.
The All Ball Bearings is coming out of the Beach Conference.
Okay.
Oh boy, who's going first? Who's going first?
I'll go first here. It's all ball bearings. Is the quote for me. I love. Obviously, I voted it. I love steak sandwich, but But it's all this podcast is all ball bearings, and I think that's going to be the best possible contender to go against. It's number 1 seed Moon River.
I have to go ball bearings too. It's just something that we use all the time. I mean, I think it definitely has its place. I think it has the right to be in the championship.
Absolutely.
These 2 quotes are Titans, but it's all ball bearings. It's going to advance to the championship.
And we could have foreseen that these 2 quotes would be in the Chick Hearn Memorial FletchCast Quote Championship.
Oh my gosh. Now, how are we going to do this championship?
Well, Jake, I'm happy I asked that question because the championship quote is going to be determined by the fans. Head on over to our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There you will find polls or links to polls where you will vote Moon River or all ball bearings. It's up to you guys. If you don't already follow us on social media, you can find us at I Am FletchCast. That's the letter I, the letter M, FletchCast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Tell Fletch fans everywhere, cast your vote, leave a comment, call the voicemail. Every vote will count towards the champion. And on the next episode, we will announce the results and the championship trophy will be handed to the greatest Fletch quote of all time. Again, do your part. You can't complain about the greatest quote if you don't vote. For Jake and Bob, I'm Laker Jim. We're going to go catch the last 10 minutes of Dynasty. Head to those polls, and we'll see you.
Someone get me a paper bag. I mean,
Jake's hyperventilating.
Hyperventilating. Someone get me a paper bag.